So they basically made the best real estate investment ever, turned a pile of dunes into the startup of the century, and started right away with the construction of Achuzat Bayit. That very quickly became the city of Tel Aviv, with a European-style planning and central avenue that they named after Rothschild. Look at this place, it's all sand. You're telling me Tel Aviv started right here? Right here. And not just that, it all began with a lottery using seashells. Seashells? That's the weirdest beginning of a city I've ever heard of. And it's not even kosher. Maybe weird, but inspiring. Let me give you a little context. Over a century earlier, in 1799, Napoleon Bonaparte passed through this land on his way to Akko. His conquest put Jaffa back on the European map. Until then, Jaffa was an old, modest port city that was always served the gateway to the Jewish and Christian pilgrims, but not much more. Suddenly, many more pilgrims arrived and Jaffa became a famous point of interest, not only for military strategy, but also for European explorers. Okay, what does this have to do with the seashells? I'm getting there. Over the centuries, Jews always lived in the land since the Great Diaspora 2,000 years ago. But they had always come and gone from this land, and in the 19th century, the trickle became a wave. Are you talking about the big Aliyah waves? Exactly! The great waves of Aliyah brought tens of thousands of Jews from Eastern Europe, Yemen, and North Africa, and more. And with them came the need for homes, land, and new beginnings. But it was still part of the city of Jaffa, and some visionaries decided to build something new. A new what? Like a coffee shop? Or are we talking about a building or village? I'm talking about building a new and modern city. A port city with freedom, culture, nightlife, trains, and even running water in the sinks. Something this biblical land had never seen before. And in 1909, 66 Jewish families gathered right here, and each family name was written on a white shell and each plot number on a gray shell. Oh, like a raffle. Exactly. Akiva Aryeh Weiss ran the lottery, and after each draw, families walked to the sand dunes to find their new plot. That's how Tel Aviv was born. Not just a neighborhood, but a vision of a modern Hebrew city. Wait, who was this wise guy? Just a lottery host or a person with a vision? Akiva Aryeh Weiss was more like a visionary with a plan. He immigrated in 1906, deeply moved by Herzl's utopian novel Altneuland. In fact, in his diary, Weiss wrote, "The words Altneuland, Tel Aviv, act on me with tremendous power, openly and secretly. They seem to demand actions and deeds. And actions he took." Herzl again, he shows up everywhere. Right? Weiss was a Zionist, a builder. In the same year he moved here, he worked with the Geula Land Company to purchase land. Then, at one of the Zionist conferences in Neve Tzedek, he boldly proposed for the first time a new, modern Hebrew city, a new startup. And the Zionists listened to this madness, a city in the sand? Maybe it was his elegant Hebrew, maybe the numbers. He told them that 6,000 Jews in Jaffa owned only 2% of the homes and paid 40,000 francs of rent every year. In addition, Weiss brought great urban planning ideas, modern streets, and green spaces. So they basically made the best real estate investment ever, turned a pile of dunes into the startup of the century. Well, I'm not sure they had the confidence you have today when they looked at the sand dunes. And still, they formed the Achuzat Bayit Association, which means homestead in Hebrew, and elected Weiss as their chairman. And what happened next? The association was joined by 60 members who together contributed 100,000 francs. In addition, 300,000 francs were received as a loan from the JNF. They purchased the sand dunes, made a famous seashells lottery, and started right away with the construction of Ahuzat Bayit. That very quickly became the city of Tel Aviv, with a European-style planning and central avenue that they named after Rothschild, which is where we are standing right now. This boulevard became the Tel Aviv spine, and the rest is history. All from some seashells and dream in the sand. A dream that turned into a promise for the future. If this seashell story of Tel Aviv is inspiring for you, please like, share and subscribe. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you so much, and see you soon in the next episode.